don't stop coming. Fed to the rules and I hit the ground running. Didn't make sense not to live for fun. Your brain gets smart but your head gets dumb. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? You'll never know if you don't go. You'll never shine if you don't glow. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play.
I hope that you had a great first week of virtual learning. And to close it all off, we're going to play a little game today in math. So as you can see on my screen, the game is the mean, median, and mode card game. In order to play the game, let's figure out what we need. So the materials we need are pencils, you can also use pens, a piece of paper, playing cards, which is just like a normal deck of cards. If you don't have cards at home, you can use dice, or if you click on this link right here, it takes you to this website that will also give you a free deck of cards as well. Okay, so those are the 4 things that you need, or 3 things really. You need pencil, paper, a deck of cards, or you can use the link, and or dice. Okay. Before we begin, what you do is you're going to review the definitions with all of the players. So if you're playing with a sibling or a parent, make sure that they know what these 3 words, mean, median, and mode mean. If you're playing by yourself, then just review them. Again, review the definitions of mean, median, and mode before you start playing. So as you can see, I took out all the kings, jacks, and queens out of my deck because we're not going to be using them. And I am left with aces through 10 in my deck. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle my deck, which I already did. After you shuffle your deck, each player is going to get 7 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because we're finding the mean, that means that we're going to find the sum of all 7 of these cards. In order to do that, let's order our cards from least to greatest. So, least to greatest with all my cards. I'm going to start with 2s and then move to 3. And then I'm going to move to 6, 7, and 10. So I have least to greatest order with all 7 of my cards. Then we're going to find the mean. So in order to find the mean, we're going to add all these numbers, all these cards up. And when I do that, I get a total of 33. Now, 33 is not my mean. 33 is the sum of this data set right there. And I want to find the mean of this data set. So to do that, I'm going to take the sum and I'm going to divide it by how many pieces of data I have, which is 7. And I'm going to round to the nearest whole number, which would be 5. So for this round, I'm going to get 5 points because my mean of my hand is 5. Now you can play 5 rounds of this mean game, and whoever gets the highest amount of points at the end wins. I hope you have fun finding the mean. To play the median game, you're going to set it up just like you did the mean game. So I took out all my jacks, queens, and kings, and then I'm left with 10s through aces in my deck. Then I shuffled my deck and I picked out 7 cards. Again, I also put them in sequential order from least to greatest. Now to find the median, we're going to find the middle of this data set. So I wrote it on my whiteboard here so I can cross the numbers out as I go. So remember, when you're finding the median, you're trying to find the middle. And to do that, you're going to cross one number out from the low end and one number out from the high end. So when I cross out the lowest number, I also have to go and cross out the highest number. And you're going to keep doing that until you find the middle number. In my case, the median of this data set above is 3. So that means for this round, I get 3 points. Remember, if you're left with 2 numbers that are the same, to find the median of those 2 numbers, you would add the 2 numbers up and then divide by 2 because you have 2 numbers in your data set left. Again, if you want to play 5 rounds of this, you can, and whoever has the most points at the end of those 5 rounds wins. Have fun playing the median game. All right, this is the mode game. Now the mode game is set up just like all the other games where I pulled out my king, queens, and jacks out of my deck and I'm left with aces through 10 in my deck. After I shuffled my deck, I picked out 7 cards again and I laid them in least to greatest order. Now when I'm looking for the mode, I'm trying to find the data point that appears the most often. And when I look at this, I see that I have 2 2s and 2 3s. That means that I have more 2s and 3s in my data point than any other number. So for the mode game, when you have 2 modes, we're actually going to take the 2 modes that appear the most and add them together to get the sum or the points that I'm going to be awarded for that round in the mode game. So because 2 and 3 are both the modes in that data set above, I'm going to get 5 points because sum means to add. So 2 plus 3 is 5. So I'm going to get 5 points for this round of the mode game. Now let's say for some reason when I pick out my new 7 cards, I have a mode that looks like, or I have a data set that looks like this. Now if I have a data set that looks like this where I only have one mode and that mode is 3, then that means I get 3 points for that round in the mode game. Now, one more scenario. Let's say that my new data set looks like this for the 3rd round. Do I have any modes here in this data set? Well, the answer would be no. And guess how many points I would be awarded if I don't have a mode? Sorry to say it, but I think you're right. I would be awarded 0 points for that round. I hope you have fun playing the mode game. Let's say that you don't have a deck of cards at home. You can always click on this link and it will take you to a random card generator. So this website is called random.org and all it is it randomly shuffles a deck of cards and will display one card at a time for you. So we are going to use this website just like we would if we had a deck of cards and we're playing the mean game or the median game or the mode game. So just like in all those card games, we do not need our kings, queens, or jacks. We also don't need our jokers. And because this is a website, you have to be patient because it may take a little while for your cards to load. So then once you have everything clicked, you're going to just click draw cards. And here is my first card for my first round of whatever game I'm playing. Now, because I'm going to hit again down here to randomly pick a new card, I have to write down this 4 so that way I remember it's one of my pieces of data. So then I write down the 4, I click again, and now here's another piece of my data for the game and the round that I'm playing. So now I have a 4 and I have a 5. You would keep clicking again until you have your 7 cards and your 7 pieces of data written down, and then you play whatever game you want to play. Let's say that you don't have a deck of cards at home and this website is not working. You can also use dice at home. If you have dice, you can pick one of the dice up and roll it 7 times. And every time you roll it, you would write down the number, and that number would be associated with like a card that you drew from a deck. Once you have your 7 numbers, because you rolled your dice 7 times, you can play the mean, median, or mode game and use those 7 die rolls that you rolled for the round that you're playing and the game that you're playing. I hope this helps. Always remember that Ms. Saraki and Ms. Stalick and myself, Ms. Linsmeyer, are here to help you guys. You can email us. You can jump onto Google Hangouts and we can answer any of your questions. Who knows? Maybe I will even play against you. All right. I hope you have a great weekend. Bye, guys.